For a lot of guys, relapsing or releasing, whatever you want to call it, it's the thing that they dread the most when they're on semen retention. And I can understand that. I've been through this already. For me, these days, semen retention is a lifestyle. And in this video, I want to help y'all deal with relapsing because you're human. And if it's your first time doing semen retention, it's most likely going to happen unless you're one of those rare guys that can stick it out and go cold turkey. I want to point out though, there's a difference between releasing and relapsing. When you release, it's a choice. This is when semen retention becomes a lifestyle like it is for me, and I choose to release with a partner. A relapse is you going back into your old habits. Here we're going to talk about what to do when you relapse. Well, the first thing you want to do when you relapse is to let it go. Really let it go. It's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. If you sit and you mentally just put yourself in this bubble where all you think about is, damn, I just relapsed, you're going to dig yourself in a hole that's really hard to get out. Trust me. I'm a guy that thinks a lot. And when I make a mistake, sometimes if I think too much about that one mistake, I get a lot of tunnel vision. And that's exactly what's going to happen to you if you just sit and think about, oh, damn, I just relapsed. You're going to have a very narrow-minded vision where all you can see and think about and feel, for that matter of fact, is, damn, I just made this mistake and I don't know what to do. I know a lot of y'all feel that way when a relapse does happen, but there's no point of that. You have to let it go. It's already happened. That's something behind you. You have to be forward thinking. What is it that you can do going forward to not let this happen again? What can you do to turn that relapse into a release instead? Something where you make a conscious decision to release. If you don't get out of that tunnel vision, all you're going to be doing is living in the past, and then the cycle is going to go over and over again. And you're not going to be able to get out of it because that's the only thing, like I said, the only thing you're seeing and feeling is, damn, I just relapsed. I don't know what to do. And then you're just going to start that cycle again because it's the only way that you know how to cope with the whole situation, right? So you can't do that. You have to dig yourself out of that hole. And the way to dig yourself out of that hole is to let it be in the past. We're all human beings. We're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. On my original semen retention journey, I had enough discipline to go cold turkey and not do anything. And I gave myself 90 days to basically do this thing. And on the 91st day, I released. It was a choice. But for some, it can be a bit more difficult. And you can't be too hard on yourself when you do relapse. You just have to let it happen, accept that it's happened, because that's huge. You have to accept that it happened. You have to be forward thinking and just move on from it. That's all you can do about it. This brings me to my next point. The next thing that you want to do when you've had a relapse is to replenish your body. Now, what do I mean by replenish your body? Well, if your diet's not straight, and you're eating a lot of shit foods and things like that, it's going to reflect back on you. The more shitty food you eat, the more shitty decisions you're going to make, and the more shitty outcomes you're going to have. Excuse me. If you got a whole bunch of chips and cake and all that type of stuff around in the crib for you to eat after a relapse, all you're doing is putting yourself in this really nice comfort zone where you just sit back, you relax, you chill, you think everything's nice and good. But what y'all don't know is that when you eat these type of foods, it basically stops you from thinking correctly. I know it stops me from thinking correctly, and that's why I avoid it to the best of my ability. But sometimes I will indulge, of course, because who's going to sit here and lie? It tastes good. But you have to realize that these foods that we call quote-unquote unhealthy, processed foods, all that type of stuff, it messes with your brain. You're not going to sit here and tell me that when you eat a bowl of fruit compared to a bowl of chips, your vibe is completely different when you eat the two, you know? So you have to replenish your body in the correct way. Eat whole foods, man. Go find you some eggs, some beans, some seeds, something that just has one ingredient in it. Rice, whatever it is. Eat things that are going to replenish your body because you just lost your life force that you've been saving up for, whether it's been a few days or weeks or months even. find the correct foods, eat the correct foods, a lot of fruits, vegetables, all these things, single ingredient whole foods, man. Find these things and use them to your advantage. Replenish your body, because when you can replenish your body, you'll be able to think a lot more clear, and you'll be a lot more clear-headed, and you'll think with clarity. Let's say you eat a bar of chocolate after you relapse. The thing that's most likely going to happen is that you're going to end up in that cycle again where you go and relapse again. I don't know, twice in a day, 3 times in a day. I don't know what y'all boys be doing, man. But it makes the possibility a lot larger when you do that. So instead of doing all that, find the correct foods, eat the correct foods, you know, lean meats, all these things that help your body, that digest easily is what I'm trying to get to. Find things that are easily digestible and help your body with nutrients and put in antibodies in and all types of that nice stuff, man. That's gonna get you really far. And all this leads me to my next point as well. When you're clear-headed, you can think straight. And when you can think straight, that's when you can finally go back and replay what happened, so that you can start to retrace your steps and figure out what the hell happened so it doesn't happen again. What do I mean by this? You have to learn to identify your triggers. You have to know what your triggers are, the things that set you off, that put you on that path towards a relapse. You have to know what these things are so that you can easily avoid them. Now, if you haven't watched my video about how I beat porn, I'll leave an info card at the top of the video so you can go watch that. And that's the first thing I talk about in there, identifying your triggers. You have to know what it is that's putting you off, whether it's something you saw on your phone, whether you were outside and you saw something. You have to be able to retrace the steps so that you can easily avoid another relapse from happening. Because when relapse happens, it's because of a cycle that you've been living in. And that cycle puts you in this mood or this vibe that causes you to pull out your phone and watch the porn or whatever it is, however you do it, or call up old girl that you haven't seen in 2 years and you lay the pipe on her. You know what I mean? You end up in a cycle that you don't want to be in. And that's what causes a relapse. That's all it is. It's just a bad cycle that you've been in the whole time that you want to get rid of. And the way to do it is to retrace your steps. Know what happened from step 1 all the way to the last step. And all it entails is you going within yourself, sitting down for a moment, whether you write it down on a piece of paper, whether you just sit and think, or you just sit and speak to yourself in front of a camera like I'm doing, but you keep it to yourself. That's all it entails you to do. You have to go within yourself and know what it is that is pushing you to do the wrong things. Because you have to think about this, man. All of us watching this video, I'm gonna guess like 99% of us are guys. Us guys, we like to think, we're logical. You have to be able to go within yourself and think about the things that you do and hold yourself accountable for them. That's something you have to do as a man. If you can't even do that, if you can't sit for just 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes and think about yourself, then there's an issue. Because I've talked about this before with semen retention as well. Semen retention isn't about them. It's all about you. It's about you evolving and becoming a better man. And in order to do that, you have to know your weaknesses. So you have to find your weaknesses. You have to find your triggers. You have to know them in order to be successful on semen retention. And I promise you, the guys that are out here doing these streaks for 2, 3 years, they know every single one of their triggers. I know every single one of my triggers from back in the day when I used to watch Korn and stuff, man. Every single one, I know them. I jotted them all down. I would write, whenever I relapsed, I would write down what happened from A to Z, just to make sure that it never happened again. Because if I saw letter A happening again or alpha happening again, I put a stop to it right there. It was easier to put a stop to it because I knew what road I was going down and where it would put me. I didn't want to be in that situation no more, right? So I took measures to stop it from happening. And you can do the same too. You have to learn to identify your triggers. And they're going to be so easy to find them. All you got to do is think. Think. Sit for yourself and think. Give yourself some space. Sit in a dark room, sit in a light room. I don't know, whatever works for you. Just do it. And I'm using a lot more time. I'm using a lot more time on this specific subject because identifying your trigger is the key to stopping a relapse from happening again. And then when you know your triggers, you go from relapsing to making the choice of releasing. like I do today. Today, like I said in the beginning of the video, semen retention is a lifestyle. I'm not out here doing like freaking 4 or 5 month streaks, but the thing is, I choose whether I want to release or not with a partner. I choose now. I get the decision to choose, and I love it. I have that much control now, and that's where I believe I believe that a lot of us should be as men. I'm saying a lot of us because there's just some guys out there that can't be helped because they don't want to help themselves. But I think a lot of us men should be there. We should have the choice to release. You have to have that much self-control over yourself. But it comes with you going within yourself and figuring out what it is that triggers you. What is it that gets you off? All these type of things, you need to know them to practice semen retention correctly. So next time you relapse, keep these 3 things in mind. Get out of that tunnel vision. Whatever happened, put it behind you. It's already happened. There's nothing you can do about it. Let it sit and rest there for a second. And as you move forward, replenish your body, bro. Put the right things into your body, the right foods, the right media, be around the right people. Because you just lost your life force, you know, you just released your life force, something that creates a whole new life. It's not to be taken so lightly. So keep the energy positive around you and replenish your body with positive things and foods and people. Excuse me, I just ate and came out. And the last thing, identify your triggers. Retrace your steps. What was it that happened that caused me to go from point A to point Z, where point Z is the relapse? Know these things. These 3 things are going to change the game for you and make semen retention, nofap, whatever it is, self-control in general, a fucking breeze. That's it from me in this video. If you want to read the first chapter of my ebook, The Jack Reality Check, if you're a guy that's into building muscle, the link for that's in the bio. If you want to join the Triple M mentorship as well, link for that's in the bio. And let me help you build some muscle, get your mind right, and help you become a centered, grounded man. That's it from me, and I'll see you on the next vid. Peace.